Recently, I was called for EFLU University for a talk, and this is how it went. Agreeing to that?
Yes.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, all the individuals, advocates, as well as people who are right over here, who is sitting with me, and all the people who have made this effort of, bringing, having this conversation, especially about art and queerness in itself, and all the people who are fighting for making this happen. So give it out to applause for yourself and to the people. Now, the question, great. See, this is so artistic movement of me. But I'm so sorry for this pearls.
It's my mother's pulse.
Is very patriarchal, very casteistic in its own nature. For me, drag or my art became a journey in itself, because I started from something which is very structured to something which is very unstructured. And while this was happening, somewhere or the other way I could realize that I was creating my own voice. And once you have your own voice, as you reflect it to your art, it becomes powerful, it becomes that madness which is. Hello. So I was saying that once the madness sits on your head, just like a wig, you don't know what you are doing, you just kind of do it. And you survive in your own self or in your own journey. And I see art as one of that medium which gave me a purpose to survive. We had drag as an idea in, even post 300 BC. The first idea of a text which might be problematic in its own nature, but again, that's the only reference which I could give, is Natya Shastra, where the first indentation of drag was called as Strivesham, which is men dressing up as women, Purusavesham, women dressing up as dead. They dress up in a very fierce woman form and perform in front of them to mourn. So these are some of these ideas of drag which have been always there in the society or in the Indian society. Now what exactly happened was, I think the 2018, the 377 was kind of struck down, and somewhere or the other way, the queerness or the queer culture needs to appropriate itself as an idea of an art. And that's when people started looking into the West, especially RuPaul Devi kind of came into existence, where people saw, okay, this is something which is drag, which is happening in the TV or in the series, etc., and we need that back to India. So then there were some couple of queer people who wanted to kind of present the similar art form, but name an English word which is drag, and started in spaces like work with my with my dance, and then come to drag. I already had an idea that I didn't want to be the idea of a mainstream drag artist, because somewhere or the other way, being a mainstream is itself a lot of burden. And when you have to be a mainstream, there's a lot of money which is for you. You're basically contributing to the idea of capitalism in one or the other way. So, what is the idea of anti-capitalism in drag, or anti-group in its own nature, is to kind of redefine or turn it around the head and see drag in a far more different way. And that's when I learned about Travel to Drag. So Travel to Drag was a performance workshop which happened in Los Angeles, where a photographer named Austin Young brought regular drag artists into a room, and there was a pile of garbage, trash which was being put across, and then makeup which was being there as well. So what they have done is, he has asked people to pick up things from one side, wear it on their body, and create an image of drag. And that's how the goric as well as the unhuman form of drag evolved. And if you see in the picture, that is something which is the questions, which basically question the idea of their identity. So when I show this and I say that, okay, no home if you are trans. If you live in, then live out. So those are the kind of slogans which I present in front of the public, and that's when they resonate and they understand the subject of it. So sometimes I used to do this copying of a certain adjustments in my performance that connects to the younger audience. Same sex ఇష్టపడితే homosexuals అంటారు, వేరే సెక్స్ ని ఇష్టపడితే heterosexuals అంటారు. తల్లి ఇష్టపడితే ఇద్దరిని ఇష్టపడితే బైసెక్షువల్స్ అంటారు, అందరినీ ఇష్టపడితే ట్రాన్స్సెక్షువల్స్ అంటారు. ఆహా 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 ఇది ప్రైడ్ మాసం కాదు, సెన్సిటైజ్ చేస్తానంట కమ్యూనిటీ అన్నా, ఇది కూడా అంటారంట ప్రైడ్ మాసం అన్నా. सेजिया पे लौटे काला नाग वो कचौड़ी गली सुन कई बलम. सेजिया पे लौटे काला नाग वो कचौड़ी गली सुन कई बलम. सुन कई बलम, सुन कई बलम, सुन कई बलम, सुन कई बलम. मिर्जापुर होवे गुलजार हो कचौड़ी गली सुन कई बलम. यही मिर्जापुर से उड़े जहाजिया, यही मिर्जापुर से उड़े जहाजिया रे, उड़े जहाजिया, उड़े जहाजिया. सैया चल गए रंगून हो कचौड़ी गली सूर कई बलम. सेजिया पे लौटे काला नाग हो कचौड़ी गली सुन कई बलम. কিছু দিন মনে মনে ঘর কোণে, কিছু দিন মনে মনে ঘর কোণে, কিছু দিন মনে মনে ঘর কোণে স্বামীর পেট রাখবো কোণে. কিছুদিন মনে মনে, কিছুদিন মনে মনে ঘর কোণে, কিছুদিন মনে মনে ঘর কোণে, কিছুদিন মনে মনে ঘর কোণে স্বামীর পেট রাখবো কোণে. স্বামীকে যখন করবে মনে সূর্যায় বিকালো মেঘের পানে. স্বামীকে যখন করবে মনে সূর্যায় বিকালো মেঘের পানে. সায়নে সাঁতার দিয়ে আসবি ফিরে, সায়নে সাঁতার দিয়ে আসবি ফিরে, সায়নে সাঁতার দিয়ে আসবি ফিরে. তোর গায়ের বসন ভিজবে কেনে কিছুদিন মনের মনে, কিছুদিন মনের মনে ঘরের কোণে, কিছুদিন মনে মনে ঘরের কোণে, কিছুদিন মনের মনে ঘরের কোণে স্বামীর পেট রাখবো কোণে.
As you are aware, a performance artist, in societies like USA, they are very extreme at this point. But in India, it's not that extreme, and it's barely developing as such or barely progressive. So when there are kids who actually want to perform and who actually want to be such drag artists, but then there are many religious institutions as well who brainwash kids and who present all these other progressive societies as an example that now it's deteriorating. So you should not be promoting that, and you should not be a part of such deteriorating society. So what would you like to say about that?
Such a beautiful question. Thank you so much. I think what exactly is happening? I'll kind of quickly give a context of the US banning drag queens, and especially saying that it's not safe for kids. Because drag has been an art form which is with a lot of queerness involved. You know, queer people are somebody who find themselves liberated when they're given a certain kind of a rights or certain kind of space, because there's a lot of oppression which is happening. You know, there's a lot of years of oppression. So they want to break the cycles of how society sees them. And somewhat on the other way, the idea of sex positivity, which is again, it's not a question of vulgarity, but idea of how you represent your body and how we're all sexual beings by the end of it. And as a sexual being, how do you not stigmatize the idea of sex is what drag artists, but especially in the US, especially places where there are clubs or a party where it's happening, they try to bring that ideation of drag and they present something which is again for the masses, where again all of them are adults, all of them are sexual beings, and then they present it so that they can create an idea of an entertainment of it. Now, coming back to India, and I'll tell you a very nuanced example of it. I was recently, I went to a friend's marriage, especially from Bihar, and in Bihar, there's this place called Zubam Code, and there is where my friend was getting married. He's getting married to a woman, and we're all kind of going there. 2 days before the marriage, they did something called as the Launda March, where the entire family was sitting, which includes women, men, children, and the boys were sitting with their fathers, girls were sitting with their mothers. All of them are sitting in a. This is definitely a divide. The dancer is performing only in front of the men, whereas the women were also present. It's not like they are oblivious. And this is extremely sexual in some nature. They perform songs which are sexual in some nature because by the end of it, it's the idea for them or the groom to kind of demystify the idea of sex. He can't go ahead with having this pressure of, okay, sex is something which is sacred and have a societal or a moral life. And in order to do that, there's a reason why they have to demystify, they have to de-channelize the idea of sex.
Secretary. So when I proposed this Pride Week, I took a lot of help from the QC and other members as to how to proceed with it, to appropriate it, and how to make the space more inclusive. Now I have this question. Just before I had to use the washroom and come back, and there was one of my friends asking what is happening in this room. So I said there's a drag artist as a guest of honor to conclude the Pride Week, so the talk is happening. So the question that posed is, what is a drag artist? So in a space like EFLU, if this is the scenario, what are your suggestions or what is your advice on making this campus or making any university space for that matter more educational or more inclusive, or a space where the students have the access to understand these concepts which seem to be very complex when it is not. It is, when you look about it, it's just a self-expression where you are being yourself, and that kind of irks some people because people do not fall into the normalcy that they have. So, as the drag performance artist, what are your suggestions or what is your advice on making this a better space?
All of you in this room know what is kabuki theatre. Kabuki theatre, have you ever heard this name? Yeah, because kabuki theatre is from Japan. And there's no kabuki theatre artist in India. So, what exactly happens here? Because again, I'm coming back to this thought process of words imply a lot, like how do you word an art form. And the idea of drag is again how its origin, like the word, how exactly its art form is called drag, because it started from Shakespearean theatre. There were few characters where men would dress up as women and perform because women are not allowed to perform. So those characters Shakespeare has basically written on the margin saying that this is drag, we are each. So somewhere or the other way, Shakespeare is a father of drag. No, kidding. But when this is how, the art form is written on the margins of a play. Thank you so much for watching. That was the video.